Hello guys, welcome back to WWE Aftermath, Afterlife, or whatever it's called. And this is going to be an Extreme Rules. A couple of these episodes are going to be a bit late because last week I just didn't feel like doing it, honestly. I just didn't really feel motivated enough to really actually talk about it because I thought last week's shows were kind of boring, honestly, and didn't really hold my interest very much, but I figured I might as well talk about it. And I do promise that, starting next week, I'll be on time with these things. I sometimes forget to do this show, you know. And I really mostly just concentrate on Melmat Podcast, Chucky's Pretty News, and gaming videos. And this is one of those shows that I just kind of forget, you know. But, yeah, so anyway, we're going to be talking about Extreme Rules, which took place about last Sunday or so. So I'll just go ahead and get started. The first match was Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper in a Chicago street fight. And this was one of the matches that I was really looking forward to. I just could not wait to see this match. And the match itself, I wouldn't say it was disappointing, but they really could have done a lot more with it. What was really interesting was that it was kind of split up into two parts. Because Ambrose and Harper fought their way backstage, and both of them got in the car and just up and bolted. I guess the camera decided not to follow them because they just ended up going to the next match instead. Which was kind of disappointing because in Chicago, that would have been amazing to see them fight on the streets of Chicago. But so yeah, overall, not a bad match. The first part wasn't bad, but it could have been a lot better. Yeah, it could have done a lot more with it. But anyway, on to the second match, I guess. And it was Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus in a Kiss Me Arse match. Very idiotic stipulation. But anyway, this was an okay match. I mean, pretty much what you'd expect from these two. Dolph Ziggler, great worker. You know, probably one of the best workers in the WWE right now. And Sheamus he's okay. So Dolph Ziggler wins the match, inside Cradle style. And so Sheamus, obviously, as the heel that he is, doesn't want to do it. Then he Brogue kicks him and ends up. And well, Sheamus decided Sheamus will Brogue Ziggler, then he Brogue kicks him and ends up smearing Ziggler's face on his arse. I mean, just weird. It's just the finish was just that. After-match segment wasn't... It ran on too long, really. It really did just take a lot of time to just up and do it already. And I was just assuming that Shane was just going to kind of punk out, you know, and just not do it. But I was surprised a little that they would do that in this PG era. But anyway, so next up was Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus the New Day for the Tag Team Championships. And this was actually the best match of the night, actually. This was actually really good. Kind of odd that the New Day would have a good match, but that's not... The problem is their gimmick. It's not so much the talents, because the three talents with in Big New Day, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, they're really good. They're great. The only problem is that they can't really find a solid gimmick to really do it around. And I do think that the New Day are getting better, especially as a heel trio now, and I really hope that they sort of broaden their gimmick beyond just clapping and shouting New Day and stuff like that. But anyway, this was a really good match. New Day win the titles. And I'm really interested to see how they do it. And then after that match, they try an interview, but Ambrose and Harper come back for the second half of this match. And tons of chairs were thrown into the ring, which was awesome. But this was pretty short-lived. Dean Ambrose gets the win, finally. I believe this was his first pay-per-view win since Payback, I think, back in June of 2014. So it was a long time. So going nearly a year without a pay-per-view win. Like, that's insane. But, so yeah. And next up was John Cena versus Rusev in a Russian chain match for the United States Championship. This match wasn't really that great. I mean, it's a chain match. I really don't think chain matches have ever been that great to begin with. Kane versus Triple H at Judgment Day 2001 was a chain match, and that was okay. If only because Triple H beat down Kane before the match, so that at least made it a little bit more memorable. But besides that, this one wasn't really that great. One memorable thing is that they really seem to be building Lana up for a face turn, because the crowd kept chanting, we want Lana, and Lana waves to the crowd, acknowledges them. Rusev sends her to the back, so they're definitely doing something with Lana as far as the face turn goes. But John Cena predictably wins, and just it was really nothing special, just kind of boring. And next up was Nikki Bella versus Naomi for the Divas Championship. And finally, Naomi debuts new music and a new entrance. And one thing that was really surprising to me, kind of, was that it seems a lot of Naomi's entrance thing, it really reminds me of Sasha Banks from NXT. And I really don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's just coincidence or I don't know, but that's what it reminded me of, really. But this was an okay match, it really wasn't anything special. I wasn't expecting it to be anything special, I still cannot buy the Bellas as baby faces, and Brie Bella even helped. She interfered, which is usually a heel move. So I have no idea who the heel or the baby face is. This angle is just crazy. But Nikki Bella retained. Then Roman Reigns versus Big Show in the last man standing match. And I'll be honest, I was dreading this match. I was really not looking forward to this match at all. But to their credit, they actually did do a good match. I mean, I'll give credit where credit is due. They did work hard to put on a good match, and it really was. Roman Reigns being chokeslammed through 2 tables outside the ring was pretty memorable. And Big Show getting buried underneath the announce table, which was kind of obvious, because I think that happened to Reigns himself by Big Show weeks prior, so it was kind of predictable, but at the same time, it was pretty cool to see. Just pretty hardcore. I mean, just really good. I mean, surprisingly good match. And then we have the main event: Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton in a cage match with the RKO banned for the WWE Championship, and with Kane being the gatekeeper for the match. And this match was okay. It's pretty much exactly what a cage match should be. They use a cage to their advantage, Like, Orton, he was okay in the match. Rollins was awesome. And what I like about this is that even though the cage match was picked by Orton to, offset outside interference, there was still a ton of interference in here. So, yeah, nice try, but it didn't work. Then at the end of the match, Kane just goes nuts and just chokeslams everybody. Then Orton RKO's Kane, which I really didn't mind, because I assumed it was just good for Rollins, and it was just good for anybody else that wasn't in the match. But then Seth Rollins sits in the RKO and escapes through the cage door to win. And there's sort of like a lot of confusion over this, Personally, I didn't really mind it that much because, Rollins is a heel. He cheats to win. That's what heels do. And I knew that he was going to try and give himself an out, later on. The next night he claimed that he did an SKO instead of an RKO, which was funny. And I would have marked out if he had just said that he had done a diamond cutter. Because the diamond cutter and the RKO are basically the same move, really. The only difference between those two is that you jump for an RKO and then hit it. With the diamond cutter, you just stand there and do it. But, so yeah, that was an okay match. A bit of a confusing finish, but okay match nonetheless. So overall, Extreme Rules 2015 was okay. There weren't really any god-awful matches, but at the same time, there were really no matches that really jumped out at me. It wasn't necessarily boring, but it didn't have that Extreme Rules spark that it should have had. So, that's all for Extreme Rules 2015, and I will be back in just a few minutes with the Raw that took place the night after Extreme Rules. So I'll see you then.